Hi everyone, I'm Janice Johnston. I'm your professor for this semester. Today I'm going to go through some tutorials about creating what they call volumetric shapes, which kind of sounds mathy, and I don't want it to sound mathy because we're all visual people and I'm not sure that that's our forte. But creating volumetric shapes just means creating that illusion of 3 dimensions on this two-dimensional piece of paper. So how do we create a shape that looks like it has 3 dimensions, like our cube here with the shadow and the highlights on a flat piece of paper? So that's what today is about, creating some of those tricks. And part of the tricks and tips and skills you'll learn is how to observe where the light's coming from and then where the shadow's going and how that reflects on our object. So this is our first video and we're going to look at a sphere, which is basically a circle that is going to be shaded in a 3-dimensional way. So we're going to construct that together. I've got a little video that I'm going to talk along with, and I might pause it if I think that we need to stop and pay some extra attention. But what you'll need today is just that piece of paper. You can work in your sketchbook, and you can also, you might need a ruler or any kind of straight edge. You don't actually need to measure anything. You just need this straight edge, so you can actually take a piece of paper and just fold it. And then you've got this straight edge. And maybe an eraser if you're not feeling bold, but you really don't need to erase everything. Don't be too fussy with this. I really just want you to dig in and try these things out. One thing that might not be in your kit that you might want to consider getting is this little kneadable eraser. And this is kind of like putty. I can actually pull it, I can mush it together. And what this does is I can make it into a little tiny tip and dig in, or I should say dig out some of the graphite, the pencil. If I want to create a highlight, it's actually more natural for us not to draw around that, but we can actually pull out the pencil later. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And again, I might stop the video just so that we can all reflect on this together. And there's going to be a practice time after each of our modules. So we start with the sphere, but I'll stop it at the end and I want you to try it. And I gotta say, guys, there's nothing better for you than to practice this. And we actually have quite a bit of time in class. So I think you shouldn't have homework. You might have a little bit of homework when I assign your assignment at the end of class, but you should be able to utilize this time we have together. So I'm going to press play and I'm going to talk over the video. And if I find that things are going a little quick, I'll just pause for a second. So we're going to start with our sphere. And that just begins with our circle. And that's kind of challenging to draw a circle freehand. So we just kind of go over it and over it. And you can see how I'm holding my pencil here. It's kind of a classic way, but I am going to change my grip to do some shading, and I'll draw your attention to that when it happens. So what you have to be is comfortable when you're drawing. It's really important for you to find a good place to sit. So we've got our circle here, but we want it to be 3-dimensional. And that spot right there is where I've chosen for our highlight to be. That means that that's where our light is hitting. That's the arrow there. So our light's going to hit that spot, and we're going to just make a little dot in the very center of our circle. And here's a little equation for you. We're going to draw an axis line right through our circle, just that connects our highlight and the center of our circle. And then we're just going to create a completely perpendicular line that just intersects it exactly in quarters. And here is the equation for you. That measurement right there, I want you to make a mark where that same amount of measurement. Now, don't worry about your ruler. All this is going to do is help us create where the shadow is going to be. So that we create another dot there just to connect, and we're going to create an ellipse. And I'm going to pause this right here. So an ellipse, this is how we're going to create a volume in our circle, right? That ellipse, an ellipse is kind of a squished circle, and it's going to show us where the other side, the far side of our sphere is going to be, and the edge that's facing us. So the edge that's facing us is this side. And what you would do when you're drawing a three-dimensional ball, like say we're doing a beach ball in a window, we want to make sure that that looks like it's actually round instead of a flat circle. We're going to pay attention to this line right here. So we've created this little equation by taking this measurement here, and this is just the mirror image of that. And it creates a guide for this little ellipse. And all it's doing is allowing us to see the volume. Remember that form in our principles of design, our principles and elements of design. It's that form. We want it to take up some space, even though it's just on some paper. So this is just a guideline. And you'll see me going over this, and I'll show you what that's going to measure for us here. That line right at the bottom there is where our shadow, that's where the light, the curve of our ball, that's just out of the reach of our light source. So that's our light source right there, and that's our highlight, and all the area on the lower part is the shadow. Now it doesn't stop abruptly like that. And I'm just using an HB pencil right now. So we want to switch to one of your softer leaded pencils because it's going to deposit a little bit more of the pencil. But we're just going to shade it in, and we are going to eventually blend that in because it's actually a slow fade from this highlight spot right here into the darkest area. We're just going to build up some line. So it's not going to look like this. It's not going to have that hard line. And make sure your ellipse is round at the corner. It doesn't stop as a corner. It has a nice round line. So we're just going to blend the darkest shaded area. And we haven't made it really dark yet, but I've changed my pencil direction. So now we can really deposit some more of that graphite. I'm using the side of my pencil, and you can see how I'm holding it there. And we're just going to add some more lines, a little bit lighter, because we know that it's round and we know that it's going to slowly fade into that darker area, but it doesn't stop abruptly. So you're just building up and building up some line. We don't want it to look scribbly though, like a little kid's drawing. So we're going to add line in different direction. So we start up and down, and then we're going to add some line, add a little bit more weight, and just add other directions. When you're doing a round object, it's always best to create line in that round shape. So you can see me going in different directions. I'm going around the top on this side, and then I kind of go in a curve. So we'll look at that when we do the when we are drawing the cylinder as well. So we're going to darken up. We're going to start to darken up that area. Like we said, it didn't stop abruptly. Pardon me. So we're going to fade in a little bit and add the darks. You always add the darkest parts of your drawing last. Even when we add the shadow at the end, that's going to give us an opportunity to add it even darker areas. So I'm going pretty dark just to add, to make it pretty obvious what our darkest area is, and just create some of that, the outline. Now things don't really have a hard outline, but we have to define the shape of things. So let's figure out now what happens, and I'm going to stop here for a second, is what's going to happen is this darkness here, this little band here is actually our darkest part. But what happens with light when it comes from this direction is it's going to hit this table, the surface, and it's going to reflect back up. So we don't have a sphere that goes darker and darker to the bottom. We have a sphere that goes gradually darker to about this band, and then the light's going to bounce up and reflect off the bottom of our sphere. So we're going to see that happen, and that will really create 3 dimensions. So we're just darkening that up a little bit. And we're going to keep darkening it up. You'll find you're adding lines and adding lines. So don't go too dark too quickly, but take a look at it. Stop drawing every now and then and look at it, and then you can keep adding. So we can define our shape, and you can see that there's a little bit of light area at the bottom. Not very neat. This is pretty quick, guys. This is not very neat. So we want to determine where our shadow is going to go. So here's another little equation. Here's the table edge. I'll draw a table edge. And here is a calculation. Now, by the way, you're going to be able to do this just using your eyes pretty soon. If we're doing sketches, if we're creating drawings for a client, you're not necessarily going to have to do all of these measurements because you're just going to know. But here is just some tricks so you'll be able to figure out very quickly where the shadow is going to fall. So what I've shown you here is we've got this direction of light. It's going through, it's hitting our sphere here. And where is it going to fall? So right at the bottom, we know that it's touching the ground. We also know that our shape is round. So that's where our shadow is going to stop. It's actually going to go off the page a little bit because our source goes in a triangle. So we can see that tip where it ends off the page, and we know that it's round. So our shadow is going to have a curve to it. And actually, it won't have that little point. I've created a little point at the end. It would actually go right off the page in this drawing, but not every drawing, of course. So you're adding the shadow. And what happens with the shadow is it's darkest where it's closest to the object, but then it fades out to a lighter area. So the object has less of an effect as the shadow grows farther away from an object. And we can see that too when we see our own shadow at night, that it starts to get a little bit softer when it's farthest away from us. And this is going to create a great illusion of 3D. We've got a cast shadow, we've got a highlight, we've got shadows on our object. And that's going to make sure that we're actually touching the surface where the sphere is touching the table. So it's a simple shape, just kind of drawing it out here. And now you're going to add some darkness because you can see how dark your shadow is. And just adding a little bit of detail. So this is sort of messy, and there's all kinds of ways to make marks. We haven't talked about pointillism or hatching or any of that stuff. There's just sort of me showing the measurement of where the shadow goes, adding a little bit more defined shape. So there's our sphere. It looks like it's got a little tail. And now, guys, I want you to try this. So we're going to pause. I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment, and I want you to try that, okay? So I've created 3 different videos. This is your first one, but there's 2 other ones, and I do want you to try all of them. So I'm going to stop the video, and when I come back, Hopefully you will have tried that, and I'm going to check in on you. So hopefully you're sitting in class and I can visit you, and we can, sorry, I'm trying to turn off the recording. I'll talk to you soon.